Hello, my friends, and welcome to a Brotato Nightmare Challenge Run. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I wanted to do a challenge run because I've been playing a lot of Nightmare mode, and obviously it's a very difficult game mode, but I felt like it was time to step it up and make it even harder. So we're doing one of my favorite challenges, the Curse-Only Challenge with the creature. The rule here is that I'm not allowed to take any item that isn't cursed. So we're going to start with our initial weapon, but then other than that, we're not going to be able to take any item that isn't cursed throughout the entire run. Obviously, we start with a fish hook, so we have some possibility of getting that. And let's just jump in. I'm doing it on Crash Zone because I've already beaten the creature on Nightmare, or on the Abyss on Nightmare, so we want to get the red border. And we're starting with the submachine gun because it's the best weapon for this character, and this challenge is hard enough if you don't use a suboptimal weapon, so we definitely have to use the strongest weapon here. I'm going to run over here and kill this tree. Now, I will say that because this challenge, of course, is a little bit reliant on finding cursed items and weapons, there is a chance that we're going to have to restart the challenge a few times over. We will lock a submachine gun to try to get a curse with the fish hook. We'll lock a fertilizer. Dynamite we're never going to use, so I'm going to go ahead and ban that, and then I will re-roll. I also want to try to lock a second weapon to maximize the chances that we can buy something, because we can only buy cursed items. So we really need to lock 4 things every single wave with the fish hook. So I'm going to re-roll a couple times, and now we've got 4 items locked. Hopefully one of the weapons gets cursed, because if it doesn't, then we're going to be really struggling to buy additional weapons here. We will need to start, once we have a reasonable amount of curse from the fish hook going off, we're going to need to start getting cursed items naturally, otherwise we're going to start falling really far behind. But for now, we just have to rely on the fish hook to curse things. Creature doesn't start with enough natural curse to reliably find cursed items. I'm going to go ahead and ban the landmines here. This is obviously a very weak item as well. I'll take the attack speed. Attack speed interacts interestingly with submachine gun, where the first point of attack speed is worth about a 20% increase in damage. So you really want to get some attack speed. I'm going to roll once here. Ugly Tooth, is that worth locking to try to curse it? I think not. I think I'm going to ban the Ugly Tooth and take one more reroll here. And then we'll ban Claw Tree, and we'll do another reroll. I'll lock Injection. I need enough damage on my weapons, because we're going to struggle to find more weapons. So we need to have enough weapon damage that even if it takes us a long time to find more cursed weapons, we're going to be able to still clear the wave at least reasonably well. I'm also pretty worried about wave 4 with the enhanced flies, because we just have the one submachine gun, so killing the enhanced flies is going to be very difficult. We'll recycle that. I'll roll here and I guess take 5% damage. Okay, nice. I got a cursed weapon, so that's great. We'll take the shotgun. We'll take the injection. At this point, I think I'm going to unlock these items and roll, because I'm hoping to find naturally cursed items. And so we were able to find this lemonade, which is perfect, and then we're going to do some rerolls looking to find more cursed items, or especially cursed weapons. So I'm going to roll a bunch here. Second bag would be great, of course, but let's keep rolling. Corrupted shard would be awesome if it was cursed, but it's not cursed, so we can't buy it. I'm going to roll one more time here, and then I will lock the shotgun. I'll lock Pearl, and then basically I rolled until I had no money left, but I want to keep rolling until I can lock 4 items. Unfortunately, boiling water isn't worth locking here. I'm locking defective steroids because cursed, it's still fine. And we just need to buy a critical mass of cursed items. So I really need to find another cursed weapon, but the fact that we got one cursed is definitely good. Try to clear these enhanced flies before they can put too much pressure on my movement. If we find a cursed item in a box, we'll be thrilled, obviously. And I'm trying to pick up a decent amount of materials here. We're going to recycle the Lost Duck. I'll just take a ranged damage. Unfortunately, Defective Steroids wasn't really the one I wanted to curse, but we'll buy it, and then we'll roll, and then we'll roll again. Still looking for more cursed items. I'll roll a couple more times. Do I want to try to curse this submachine gun? Probably I do. So I'll just go ahead and lock that, and then do a reroll. I'm just going to use all my bans, because we can't really buy... We can't really decide what we're buying anyways, because we can only buy cursed stuff, so just using our bans to remove bad items from the pool is good. Now, I will definitely lock the Gummy Berserker, even though this is a really terrible item, and cursing it honestly doesn't make it that much better, because it doesn't reduce... You can't reduce the armor loss below -1. We just need to buy every point of curse that we can. So I really need to find a cursed weapon. I think there's a couple characters that can do the curse-only challenge. The creature and the sailor are the ones that can make this work. I think on Nightmare, it's going to be pretty hard to make it work with the sailor. Okay, I walked into too many attacks there. I could have dodged that last one, and maybe we'd have done okay. But unfortunately, I did just walk into the extra attack. So... bad movement, but we're going to give this another go. Harder, of course, with only 2 weapons, not to walk into an attack, but that's what makes it a challenge run. If it's a challenge run that you can't lose, then that's not a challenge, is it? I'm going to roll here, and I will take 5% damage, and then I'm going to lock the submachine gun, do a reroll. I will ban Cute Monkey because it costs ranged damage. Now, obviously, the creature scales with curse, scales its weapon damage with curse, but we still need to buy ranged damage on this build because otherwise we're just going to fall too far behind, I think. I'm going to reroll. I feel like we can do better in terms of our weapon, and then we'll lock a revolver, lock a gentle alien, we'll ban out Gummy Berserker, and we'll lock a hedgehog. All right, so we've gotten 4 items locked, which is great. And, of course, 2 of them are going to be weapons. For the first 2 shops, we're always going to try to have 2 weapons locked, since that's the most weapons that we can have in the shop. In later shops, I'm hoping to lock more weapons for more chances at cursed weapons, of course, because that's going to be the major limiting factor, especially for the early game. I'm going to roll here. We'll take a ranged damage. Okay, nice. We got a cursed revolver. I'm going to do a reroll. I'm looking for another gun I can try to curse, and we'll lock this revolver here. And then we'll go to wave 3. The shotgun was honestly a better find than the revolver, even though I think revolver in Nightmare is often a superior weapon, but we need AoE damage because we don't have enough guns. And being able to actually clear multiple enemies is both difficult and very, very important here. I'll take the attack speed. Okay, we got a cursed submachine gun. So now I could try to roll for natural cursed items. I think I will give it a couple rerolls here to see if we can find something cursed, even though it means I'm not necessarily locking the best items. I'm not going to worry about this. I'll ban the scared sausage. I'll do a reroll. Sharp bullet, I'm going to lock. I will keep this locked until it gets cursed, because a cursed sharp bullet is one of the easy ways that we can actually increase our damage output. And then I'll roll, and I think at this point I'm just going to lock a submachine gun, and nice. We got to lock 3 weapons. Even though we didn't find a cursed item this shop, this is still a very good shop for us, because at least we have multiple weapons that we can lock, and that will hopefully give me enough clear speed to survive the next few waves. Now, of course, the submachine guns are making the enhanced flies more dangerous, so we need to be very careful of those. I'm not even going to try to kill the cursed one. It just has too much health, and it's going to make too many projectiles, so I'm just going to try to pick up materials. We need to level in order to increase our curse, both because it increases my damage as the creature, and also, of course, it makes more cursed items likely to appear. Here, I'm going to reroll. I think we can do better, and I'll roll again. Roll one more time. We can spend our money because we don't really need to conserve it on this character. We're just not going to have the ability to buy items a lot of the time, and so we just want to spend our money on increasing our stats any way possible. I'm going to unlock these 2 items and leave the sharp bullet locked, because I did want to try to roll for another couple cursed items, but given that we found some really good weapons, these are the best ones that we could have found. I'm actually just going to relock these and hope that the fishhook does better next round. Also, in case you were wondering, the rule is I can keep my starting submachine gun until I find 6 cursed weapons, and then we have to sell it. Otherwise, if you have to sell your starting weapon right at the beginning, then the game just becomes pure luck, whether you find or whether your fishhook hits in the first shop. And that both removes a lot of the fun, because you're just going to spend a lot of time restarting, but also, in my opinion, removes a lot of the skill, because you can only win the luckiest possible run, so your decisions matter a lot less if you play with that mode. I'll take the damage here. The harvesting is fine, but again, we don't really need additional income, because it's just having anything to spend our money on at all is the challenge. So when I reroll, we have a 3% chance of finding a cursed item, so I think I'm just gonna keep these locked. I'm gonna ban plant, we're gonna use lifesteal here. I'll ban glasses, and then I'll do a reroll, and perfect, I can lock another weapon. So obviously I'm going to need defensive stats at some point, but getting a full set of weapons online is the most important thing, and we did find a bunch of cursed weapons here. No, the gobbler dropped no materials, so I think it ate a bunch. I think they have to fix that. So in later levels, there's a percentage chance that enemies drop no materials. In later waves, and the chance increases as you go through the waves. But the gobbler definitely should be exempt from that, since it just eats all your materials and then doesn't drop anything. So I walked into some attacks. Oh, I really need to kill that curse alien. We're the creature. We have to kill the cursed enemies. I'm going to take the 7 crit chance because it's a level 3 upgrade. Amazing. We got the cursed sharp bullet. So now that I got a couple cursed items, I'm going to start rolling, because I need to find some defensive stats. So I'm going to have to lock some items that might give us defensive capabilities. Scar might be worth locking. If this was earlier during my re-rolling, I might take the Scar. Or I might lock the Scar. Sorry, if I'd re-rolled a bunch already, I might lock the Scar. Do I want the plasma sledge? I guess it's just 9 curse, so I'm going to take it. We'll sell our SMG. We probably won't attack with the plasma sledge that often. Cursed barnacle is probably worth keeping until it locked until it gets cursed. I'm going to roll here. I guess I'll lock a metal, and I'll roll again and again, and we'll lock a shotgun. We can maybe upgrade our shotgun. But the plasma sledge is probably worth buying just for the fact that it's 9 curse. Even though we don't intend to get into melee range of enemies. Though, obviously, with the reduced range of the creature, enemies are going to get a little closer to us than they would on a normal gun build or on another character with a gun build. So I need armor, I need HP, I need some lifesteal. Obviously, we need to continue to find just any powerful cursed item. And I go clear the enhanced spitter there, because it will make the rest of the wave a lot safer. And still making good income. I wish I could take the celery tea. It's actually quite good on the creature. I guess I'll take 2 lifesteal here because it gives me some healing. Sadly, nothing got cursed, but let's sell our submachine gun. I'm not allowed to combine it because it's not cursed. We'll buy the plasma sledge. I'm going to unlock these items, but leave the barnacle locked because I still want to take some rerolls to try to find cursed items. Alright, we'll buy the cursed fruit basket here, and then I'll do another reroll. I think I'm going to lock the cake, actually, and then do a reroll, and then we'll see if we can curse any of these things as well. So now I have a full set of 6 cursed weapons, though one of them, obviously, is the melee weapon, which doesn't do that much. But we do at least have a much stronger setup at this point. I have almost no defenses, so my level ups are going to need to be defensive in nature. Unfortunately, as the creature, we don't level as quickly because we lose XP gain. So, and it's harder to buy XP gain on the curse-only challenge. So it is going to be hard for us to actually get any defensive stats. Also, I will say my plasma sledge is doing more than I was kind of expecting. I wasn't expecting it to get any attacks off at all, but it has swung a few times. It's longer range than I was kind of thinking it was. Did they change the range on this weapon, or am I just misremembering? All right, I took a couple hits there. I had to step on that red X to cause the enemy to spawn in a different area, because otherwise I would have gotten trapped by it spawning in the corner, and that would have maybe killed me. I'm going to roll here, and we'll take 2 armor. I definitely need some armor. Cursed submachine gun, so I could sell. I could also combine my SMGs to a higher level. Let's go ahead and just do that, and we'll buy an SMG. I'm going to unlock these and re-roll, looking for some more cursed items. I'll just ban Peaceful Bee. It costs ranged damage. Jelly would be nice to curse, but I'm going to roll a few more times and see if I can try to lock something. I could buy Scope here, or lock Scope here. I do need ranged damage, and we're getting to the point where we've re-rolled a lot and won't have any money left. So let's do that, and then I guess I'm going to lock everything here. Would I sell any of these for a medical gun if it got cursed? Maybe not. So let's re-roll, and we'll just try to lock a bunch of items. I might actually, because we haven't found any XP gain, it's possible I shouldn't even be buying the barnacle, because we're just not going to level for most of the rest of the run. So, wait, did the gobbler drop no materials again? After it ate like 100? That's brutal. Wait, what happened there? So I just stepped on all those materials and got no pickups. Yeah, are those fake? What's going on? there's fake materials in the middle of the map. Okay, now I can pick them up. I've never seen that before. That was so weird. Okay, we did get 2 levels. So what's my XP gain currently? Minus 45. So it's probably still worth getting the barnacle if it gets cursed at this point. I want max HP, but I think I'm just going to take 3 armor here. And then I will re-roll, and we'll take 3 lifesteal. We will buy the barnacle. That's great. We'll buy the jerky, and we're going to unlock these items because they're not cursed. We'll do some re-rolling. I have 42 curse, so I should be finding cursed items reasonably frequently. Unfortunately, the lightning shiv isn't useful. We'll take the cursed coupon, even though we care a lot more about rerolls than we care about, or the price of our rerolls than we care about the price of our items. Black flag, definitely worth locking here. And this is another one we'll just leave locked forever. I could lock the coffee, and I think I will. I think I'm going to lock these items. We'll do 1 reroll, 1 more, and I guess I'll lock a laser gun. I would probably replace the shotgun with a laser gun if it got cursed. But we always want to have 4 items locked. Maybe not the shotgun, maybe the level 1 revolver. Because I do still need the AoE damage. I also can't really get rid of the plasma sledge because it's giving me 9 curse. So even though as a weapon, it's not really what we're looking for, you know, it's a slow attacking melee weapon and we want fast attacking ranged weapons when we're playing this character. It's just giving me enough points in curse that I don't think I can get rid of it. I'm still so tilted by the fake materials from last wave. That was so weird. Oh, no! I thought it... Okay. I thought I was going to be able to survive there, but I just moved a little too badly. I'm curious about our damage output. Yeah, the plasma sledge doing so little damage was definitely a problem. The sharp bullet obviously was great, but we're going to give this another go. So really hoping I get a cursed scar or something. That would be a really big deal as well, because that would let me find defensive stats a lot more easily. Trying to pick up all these materials. Especially important to pick up materials. You know what, let's take some HP, because we were struggling to get max HP. I'll lock these items, I'll ban boxing glove. I think I'm going to roll past the propeller hat and see if there's something better I can try to curse early. Couple items I'm happy to leave in the pool here, but I'm thinking something like bag, obviously, or scar would be the best things that we could curse, and I can spend some money. Oh, we actually just rolled into a cursed item. All right, fair enough. And then I will re-roll here. Nice. Sharp bullet, also something I'm very happy to lock. And we'll just leave that locked until it gets cursed. So I think that might be a better strategy. Of course, now we need to still try to curse a weapon, but cursed bag definitely helping. Any cursed items that we roll into are incredible. If I find a crate, that's going to be a lot of money. Come on, tree. Nice. All right, cursed bag, definitely helping out here. We have 64 materials. We'll recycle the bat. I will just take an armor. I think I'm going to just rely on my cursed weapons for damage, and will try to use my levels for only defensive stats. Let's reroll here. I can ban Cute Monkey. Reroll again. A cursed bottom mine. I think I will lock. We'll stop rerolling and lock this, because this is a level 2 item. And as a pet, it does benefit from the creature's curse damage scaling. But more importantly, if it gets cursed, level 2 items that get cursed give you more curse. And we need to maximize our total curse percentage. Gotta kill that tree. Sadly, we didn't get another crate. That would have been great. Let's roll here, and I'll take a ranged damage. I know I want mostly defensive stats, but when we get a ranged damage like that, I don't think we can afford not to take it. Okay, so now we got a little unlucky with our fish hook. So the question is, do I unlock these weapons and try to roll for cursed items? I think I do. Because we have 8 curse, so there's not a 0% chance that we find a cursed item here. We'll leave Sharp Bullet locked, because I think that's such an important item. And then I guess I'll just lock these 2 SMGs, and I'll roll one more time, and we'll lock the Lumberjack shirt. I felt like it was worth spending some money to look for cursed items there, but since we didn't find them, let's make sure we've got some good stuff locked. Obviously, in a normal run, you wouldn't reroll with an item locked that much, but this is not a normal run, and you have to have different considerations than you would in a normal run. I would have loved to get that tree. Unfortunately, there was just no way. Wow, okay, so our fishhook with the pity bonus really came through for us. Very happy about that. I am going to buy all of these items. I think I will unlock the SMG and we'll do some re-rolling. We're going to look for more cursed items here. Do I want the bandana in addition to the sharp bullet? I think I do. So I'm going to lock a submachine gun, lock a bandana. I could lock the medical gun, but let's roll. I'll lock Baby Gecko, and I'll lock Lemonade. I think these are all fine items to try to curse. The Cursed Lumberjack shirt, which gives you extra trees, is really nice with the fact that we started with a cursed bag. So we will hopefully get extra crates because of that. And make a little extra money. And that did bear out in practice at least once. Ouch. Okay. I still need to be really, really careful about tanking hits, though, because we have 18 HP. We have some armor, but not a lot. And we have no healing currently. Weird food I can't take. I will just take 6 HP here just to make sure that my max HP is adequate. I'll take the attack speed because of the animation thing with submachine guns, and then we'll buy the bandana and the lemonade. I'll unlock the Baby Gecko. Do I want to unlock the SMG here or leave it locked? We get more looks at cursed items, and we have a 4% chance for any item that we see to be cursed. I think I will unlock it. Obviously, it would be better if it, if I could guarantee cursing it, but we'll lock the little frog here, and then I think I'm just going to lock these two. Slingshot, is that a good weapon to try to curse? I'm going to just roll one more time. Okay, well, we're pretty happy to lock a lure here as well. Oops. Okay, well, I meant to clear the eggs before I killed the summons, but the summoners spawned on top of me. Here's something I've talked about a fair bit in a few of my recent Crash Zone videos, but I think it's worth bringing up pretty frequently. On Wave 6, you can have 1, 2, or 3 eggs spawn at the start of the wave, randomly. And that's before taking into account, like, increased enemy counts and things like that. And I really think that needs to change, because that is an enormous difference in the difficulty of this wave, and for especially for melee characters or slow-moving characters, it vastly changes how this wave plays out, and I think that level of randomness shouldn't exist in the game here. I could take 9 dodge, but I think we need to roll for, just max HP armor, that kind of thing. Sadly, nothing got cursed, but we will take the little frog. I'm going to re-roll here and look for cursed weapons, and we'll keep re-rolling. I guess I'll just ban the charcoal. Just want to use my bans. We'll buy a cursed turret. Obviously not what we're looking for, but it's a cursed item. I'll lock a lure here, I think, and then roll, because I do need to start building my shop. I guess I'll lock a bat, and then I'll roll again, and we'll lock the feather. And then we've got 4 things locked. Now, of course, the best thing that I could find would be another fish hook. And it would have to be a cursed one, but we could lock it until it got cursed. I will say, the fact that we only have 3 weapons is rough, but the double piercing shots that we've found definitely helps mitigate that. All these cursed slashers, this is why Curse is so tough on Crash Zone. I mean, one of the reasons Curse is so tough on Crash Zone is just that enemies like that getting cursed is so much health that you have to get through. We'll re-roll here, and luck isn't bad because I can find higher level cursed items, but let's just take some armor and make sure I can survive. I'll buy the bat here, and then we're going to unlock things, and we'll roll for cursed items. We'll take a cursed beanie. Cursed candy bag. Is that worth perma-locking? It's a lot of stats if it gets cursed. Cursed celery tea is also maybe worth locking here, but there's no guarantee that we curse it. I think I will lock the candy bag. I think that's good enough. I think we'll pass on the celery tea. We'll take the blood leech here, and then I'm going to roll. I'll lock an SMG and roll. Lock a sniper gun, and I'll lock a blazemander as well. If that gets cursed, I'm happy to buy it. But I need to find weapons as well. I will say, I predict that the decision that I've made so far that I'm going to get the most disagreement with is not locking the celery tea. People love that item because it gives value over time, and any item that gives value over time is everybody's favorite item. But celery tea in Nightmare mode, even cursed, is a pretty severe disadvantage, and trying to keep it locked for a really long time, I think, is asking for trouble. Okay, we did get another cursed weapon. That's great. I'm going to unlock... Actually, I'll leave the SMG locked. I really need more weapons. So I'm just going to roll until I find another weapon. I might take one crack at trying to curse the peacock. And then, okay, nice. We can leave Fishhook locked permanently and go to wave 9 here. Feeling a lot better because I have 4 weapons. And with the piercing shots, we should still have enough AoE damage to get through wave 9, I'm hoping. Now, sniper gun, of course, is rough for the creature because we lose range every wave, so I might have to take, like, a range level up. Not a high synergy weapon for this character, for sure. Especially because I think the secondary projectiles don't scale off of Curse, though I'd have to double-check that, but that's true for most weapons with multiple types of attack, is only the main attack scales off of Curse for the creature. So, trying not to get one-tapped here. Run through the middle and pick up at least some of these materials. Broken Mouth, I almost clicked that on reflex, of course, but we're not allowed to. Let's roll here, and I think I need the attack speed more than the flat damage. And then I'll take 3 lifesteal to try to stay at full health. We did get the candy bag. That's great. Now, obviously, if we get an elite, then that could be a problem. I'm going to leave Fishhook locked, and I'm going to roll to try to find a cursed weapon here. So we'll throw in some rerolls. Do a little more re-rolling, do a couple more, and I will lock Scar here. I'm going to roll again. No, I think locking the Scar there is a mistake. I think Fishhook we have to lock, but I need to find weapons to lock here. And, okay, so I can lock 2 weapons, and I guess I'll lock the bat as well. It's okay to spend $1 million money re-rolling. Wow, look at that stack of stats we got. It's okay to spend $1 million re-rolling because, again, we're looking for the ability to spend our money, not to spend our money efficiently. So we just need the most possible looks at cursed items. Now, because Fishhook is so powerful for the character, we're going to leave it locked forever, even if it means fewer looks at naturally cursed items. But everything else we can re-roll a ton until we find good stuff to lock every wave. Desperately need another weapon, though. We're on wave 10 with 4 weapons, which is a real problem, and one of our weapons scales off of a stat that we lose every wave as well. Okay. Phenomenal to get 2 cursed weapons here. I'll leave the Fishhook locked, we'll roll. I'm gonna sell this SMG and buy the cursed pruner, and then we'll do some re-rolling. And then I'm gonna sell the pruner and buy the SMG here. And I will buy these 2 cursed items. Amazing. Now we've gotten enough curse that we're starting to get cursed items naturally occurring in the shop, which is great. Eventually, when you're playing this run, you'll turn the corner. Cursed Enhanced Spitter, really dangerous, of course. And the Cursed Rib Cages are going to absorb a lot of damage. I am very concerned about Wave 16 right now, because we're mostly submachine guns, and we haven't increased our per hit damage high enough that we're going to be able to clear the enhanced spitters easily. Also, with a ton of curse, many of the enhanced spitters are going to have way more health than normal as well. Or the enhanced flies, rather, on Wave 16. I will say, I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at right now, given the run that we're playing. I'll recycle all this stuff. I'm going to re-roll here and re-roll again. I would love to pick up armor, but I think I have to take 2 ranged damage because we're going into a horde wave, so I need to... yeah, no, it doesn't scale off of curse, the secondary projectiles from sniper gun. So our minus 61 range is a real problem for our sniper gun. And you can see that it's getting bodied by our other weapons, so I'll probably sell out of this at some point. We did finally get the second fishhook curse, though, and that is a big deal. Let's reroll here. Eye patch, kind of interesting to try to curse, but I think we'll roll for things we can curse naturally. Do I want to go for a level 3 SMG? We could replace the sniper gun or do some combines. I think with 62 curse, I'm just going to roll for cursed items. I'm not going to buy the chopper. Is shotgun better than a sniper gun going into a horde wave? These do 1 damage. The secondary projectiles, we do give up 7 curse if I sell sniper gun for shotgun, but I think going into a horde wave, I need to improve my weapon damage against large groups of enemies. So I think that actually, unfortunately, is what we have to do. I'll lock an alien magic, and then I'll do another reroll, and barnacle. We have minus 55% XP gain, so the barnacle probably won't affect that many levels, but I think it's worth speculating on once at least. Losing 7 curse selling the sniper gun does feel bad, but the secondary damage on the sniper gun is really low, and so and those projectiles will trigger the flies. So we want to get rid of it before wave 16 anyways. And this wave, I'm pretty worried about my AoE damage, even though we have the extra piercing shots. So I felt like getting a shotgun to have additional projectiles and clear the wave a little faster was going to make us safer for this wave. Of course, as always, the real challenge with these challenges is not accidentally buying non-cursed items. Oh, I saw that loot alien too late. I have 17 lifesteal. I'm just going to take the attack speed. We'll take the cursed lure. I will unlock all of these things. I don't think it's worth keeping barnacle locked forever because my XP is so low. I will lock the minigun. I think that this is worth trying to curse. With double fishhook, we have a good chance of cursing it. I'll do some more rerolls to see if I can find some naturally cursed items. And we'll roll again, roll again, roll again. I will buy the toolbox, even though it's just minus 4 attack speed. We just need to increase our curse. And, okay, nice. I get to go ahead and combine and buy a leveled up SMG. I'll lock this shotgun to see if I can get that first as well. Unfortunately, I don't have enough money to try to lock 4 things, but I guess I'll lock Toxic Sludge, because we'll buy any cursed item. Literally any cursed item. Unless it's a weapon, like a melee weapon. We have enough curse that hopefully some of the crates that we get out of these loot aliens are going to be cursed. That would be a really big find for us. Again, any cursed item is so impactful for this character, so anything that I could find in a box for free that we don't have to lock or spend $1 million re-rolling to find in the shop is a pretty enormous increase to our power level. We still only have 44 health and not that much armor, so although our damage is coming together fairly well, I can't afford to walk into enemy attacks. Sadly, we didn't get anything cursed there. Also, sadly, our minigun didn't get cursed. Is it still worth trying to curse it? I think it still is. It's such a good weapon. Black Flag, definitely worth keeping locked. We'll take the campfire, we'll roll. We'll take the bowler hat, I'll lock hunting trophy, and I'll roll again, and we'll lock submachine gun. So with 50 or 60-ish percent, 59% chance to curse stuff, hopefully we get at least 2 of these cursed, and then we can really power up our character with any of these items. Gotta try to kill the elite really fast. Our defensive stats aren't great, so I don't want to spend a lot of time running around, and this is wave 14. So anytime I'm attacking the elite is time I'm not keeping the wave clear of goobers. And so we need to make certain that we kill the elite quickly, and then we can focus on taking those out. Oops. Bad movement there. Trying to chase down some goobers. This is where our piercing shots are definitely not incredible for us, because they're breaking summoners when we don't want to. But we don't quite have enough damage on like our high generation piercing shots to actually kill all the little goobers. Gonna take some hits there to try to pick up some materials. Okay, so decrease the current wave count by 2. We'd be going back to wave 12. The wave 12 is not an elite wave, or rather we'd be going back to wave 13, which is not an elite wave for us because we just fought the elite. So yeah, I think we do take the hourglass. We have 20 lifesteal. I'll take 12% damage. We got the black flag cursed. We got the SMG cursed. Do I want the shotgun, or do I think I'll keep the shotgun. We'll combine and buy an SMG. The minigun, unfortunately, is really putting pressure on us because it's not getting cursed. I'm gonna roll a few times and roll again, roll one more time, and yeah, we'll take a cursed sunglasses. So I need to be really, really careful here. We'll have to fight the wave 14 elite again, but that's not a problem, really. The fact that it was a cursed hourglass was amazing for us, because obviously we couldn't have taken a non-cursed hourglass according to the rules of the challenge, but we also wouldn't have wanted a non-cursed hourglass, because trying to fight the elite with 1 HP would have been too dangerous. Also, wave 13, this is a lure wave, right? So we have guaranteed loot aliens. Yeah, we have a cursed lure on this wave. If you don't know how Hourglass works, wave modifiers like extra elites that you get from the gangster, baits that you bought that'll spawn lampreys, and lures that you bought are persistent. They attach to the wave number. So if you go back to a wave that you bought lure on previously, you'll have the lure again. We'll recycle Claw Tree, recycle this, recycle this. This minigun is not working out, the cursed minigun. I still think it's worth leaving locked. I'm gonna roll Barnacle with minus 75% XP gain. It's just not worth it. I'm gonna lock these 2 items and then roll again, and we'll lock a butterfly and go to the next wave. Also, we got 2 more. Oh yeah, and if our candy bag had procced and gotten us an elite, that would be persistent as well. But we got 2 more candy bag ticks as well because of the cursed hourglass. And with a cursed candy bag, that's a lot of stats. I do like how ridiculous a run we've ended up with in this challenge run. I still need to be careful. I still could die. Very happy to get an extra curse alien kill. Really important to pick that up. Any points in curse that you get on this character are so impactful. So any curse alien spawns are really good. Obviously left a lot of materials on the ground. Sadly, we didn't get another cursed item. I'm going to roll here. I'm looking for armor or max HP just to kind of fix my stats. Finally got the minigun, so I'm going to combine 2 of my level 2 SMGs and buy the minigun. We'll buy the butterfly and then re-roll here. Oh yeah, also the hourglass now shows is not cursed, even though, you know, it was cursed when we bought it, so this doesn't break the rules. A level 2 shotgun, do I want to combine 2 SMGs for a cursed shotgun? I guess I do. Just keep getting more weapon levels. And then we'll do some more re-rolling, do some more re-rolling. Basically just looking for naturally cursed items at this point. We'll take a bat. I can't combine anything, and the pistol's worse than any of my current items. Cursed Fairy would be pretty powerful, but I think I'm going to roll past it. I'm really just looking for naturally cursed stuff. Cursed Handcuffs could increase my damage by a lot. Cursed Shackles could offset our range penalty by a lot. Let's try the Shackles, and then I'm going to roll. Octopus, I think is worth locking as well, and then we'll roll here. Community Support, probably worth locking also. And then Greek Fire, I'm not going to lock. Sadly, we only get to lock 3 things here. The rerolls were getting too expensive. We have basically infinite money with the hunting trophy and the black flag. So it's just about finding things to spend that money on. So I'm going to reroll down to 0 basically every wave. Even if we're spending 100 on rerolls. A dangerous bunny or a spyglass would go a tremendously long way as well. Ouch. Yep, cursed enemies on Crash Zone, they still hit really hard. Killing all those goobers, and now we're going to be going into wave 16. All right, we got the shackles, so that does fix my range. That'll make this wave a little easier, honestly, because we'll have a little more time to react to the projectiles. I'll definitely lock the fishhook. We're going to keep that locked permanently as well. And then we'll do some re-rolling. We'll take the toolbox just for the curse. We'll take the claw tree, roll again. And warrior helmet, I'm very happy with. We finally got some defensive stats. And then we're going to lock these items and go to wave 16. I feel like our candy bag has given us a shockingly low amount of maximum health. I mean, we have 18 armor and 68 max health after we bought a cursed warrior helmet. And so I think our candy bag has been giving us some odd stat distributions where we're not getting armor or health, which are really mostly what we needed. So a lot of projectiles, of course, on the field. And on wave 16, what you're going to end up doing most of the time is retreating to the edge of the map. Once you hit about 10 seconds into the wave, and a lot of the projectiles spawn. You know, something I've never really considered also, by the way, with Candy Bag, is it says it can randomly split points between your primary stats. Curse is on the primary stats page, but you can't get Curse from Candy Bag. I'll take the Curse Blindfold, obviously great, and then we have to recycle that. We got another fishhook, amazing. We got metal and submachine gun, and then we'll roll. And so now we have a pretty good chance of cursing any item that we lock. What is the total? 33 plus 31 is 64, plus our starting 28 is 92%. So not 100%, but close. I actually have a reasonable amount of dodge, so I could take Retromation's Hoodie. I will take the Barnacle, even though we're no longer leveling at all. But it's another cursed item. We'll roll here. And I'll roll again. Roll again. I'm looking to lock a bunch of stuff. So with a 92% chance to curse everything, I might wait to buy Catling Gun so I can reroll and actually lock 3 things. Because if I buy the Catling Gun, I'm not cursing anything new this wave with the fish hooks. So let's lock Beanie, and then we'll reroll, and we'll lock Ritual and Toxic Sludge. And there we go. That's the Elite down. Come on, second Cursed Hourglass. We're making so much money from our Black Flag and Hunting Trophy together. They just are giving us so many looks at new cursed items. Very helpful to have that much economy in this run. Oh, I wish I could take the seashell, but we can't. All right, we're going to buy these cursed items. We hit the 8% chance of not cursing the ritual. Let's keep rolling. Yeah, we'll buy a Toxic Sludge. More curse is better. Take another Cursed Hunting Trophy. Amazing. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Mouse and Warrior Helmet are probably worth just locking here, because we can more or less... I mean, we can't quite guarantee cursing them, but we can come close anyways, and then we'll keep rolling until I find something good to lock here. Unfortunately, no such luck, so we're only trying to curse 3 items this wave. Yeah, we're getting a lot of like move speed and elemental damage from our candy bag. But I will say that we're past the dangerous point of the run at this point. Obviously, I could still lose. We have not amazing defensive stats still, but our offense is really strong. But the really dangerous points in the run were like wave 16, and of course the Horde and Elite waves, and just finding cursed weapons at all. And with the cursed candy bag giving us 1 trillion stats, even though I don't think they've been that well distributed because of the luck that we've had with that item, I still think that it's powerful enough to just carry us through. I'll do some rerolls here, looking for more cursed items. We'll take Corrupted Shard and Fruit Basket. We'll roll. Cursed Pumpkin might have been worth locking earlier, Pumpkin might have been worth locking earlier, but we can't curse it in time for wave 19, which is the last wave where it really matters. I'll lock the Garden here, and then I'll reroll, and we'll lock a Coffee. Cursed Coupon might save us money. And I guess any cursed item that we buy just increases our damage because of the creature's weapon damage scaling off of Curse. So it's probably worth locking there, since we can't reroll anyways. We don't really need the extra pierce damage going into the boss wave because we're just gonna kill the bosses really fast. So this is the last wave where the pumpkin might have mattered, and we couldn't have had it for this wave since we would have had to wait for it to get cursed. tanking a few hits, but at this point, it doesn't matter anywhere near as much. Our stats are so high that any damage we take is more or less irrelevant, but we did make 2,000 materials on the last wave, which is great. Yeah, we'll buy the coupon, we'll buy coffee and garden, we'll roll again, and again, looking for more cursed items. I guess I'll take a cursed laser gun, take a cursed blood leech. We're now at 50 regen and 50 lifesteal, which is pretty sick. Cursed snail, sure. And we'll keep rolling. And, oh, here's our cursed celery tea. So, this will give plus 50% enemy health in the next wave, which would make the bosses a lot more dangerous. So, unfortunately, we can't take the celery tea, or at least there's no point in taking it, at this stage. We'll take the cursed loot worm, though. It increases our damage, and this would have been a really nice thing to have earlier, because we were leaving a lot of materials on the ground. All right, let's go to wave 20 and see if we can get this challenge run done with in sub 10 seconds. And we did. All right. There we go. That was the curse-only run. Let me just check my items and make sure I didn't buy anything not cursed. We have the hourglass, but we talked about that already. It becomes not cursed after breaking. And yeah, so that was a sick run. Really enjoyed 195 stats from the candy bag. And of course, we got to play 22 waves in that 20-wave run with our cursed hourglass. Let's look at our items, because I bet we got some pretty... we had ended with 200 curse. I bet we got some pretty ridiculous results from some of our items. So the bag, 500 materials... 21k damage from the turret. This cursed turret was a humble all-star in the early game, actually. Combined with our high piercing shots, this actually did a reasonable amount of clear speed in the early game and was helpful when we were struggling to find extra weapons. Obviously, finding the candy bag, finding the second hook was really good. 2,300 materials from Black Flag and 1,500 from our hunting trophies, plus the crit chance that they gave us. What else? We got almost 50k damage from the Catling gun, 0 levels from the Barnacle because we're the creature, so we stopped gaining XP. We never found an XP gain item while it would have mattered. And I guess I maybe shouldn't have bought the Barnacle because it doesn't actually give you curse inherently. It only gives you curse when you level up. So Barnacle did literal nothing this run. Buying it did remove it from the pool, so we didn't find more barnacles, but I was expecting to get 1 level out of this and maybe find an XP gain item at some point, but we could have passed on the barnacle. We got 18 extra fruits from the fruit basket, 1,600 damage from the bot, 83 savings from the coupon, and a massive 374 damage from the laser turret. And 4 materials from our loot worm. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this challenge run. I know I did, and give it a shot yourself. I think this is doable, but definitely requires some luck, and the movement, especially in the early game, is fairly difficult, but it's definitely very doable. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the run, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. It helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.